There are a lot of ways to build a strong body. And for the residents of Miami-Dade, getting your COVID-19 vaccination is an important part. Help everyone stay safe as we continue to fight the spread. And we can protect those most vulnerable around us. With easy access to vaccination locations and the growing ability for more people to be protected, it's our best shot to keep moving forward. It's our best shot for a strong, healthy community. For more information, visit miamidade.gov/vaccine.
Good morning. It's Tuesday, it's 11 a.m., which means it's time for the FIU Music Hour here on WDNA 88.9 FM, where we present live weekly performances in the WDNA Jazz Gallery and feature students, faculty, and alumni from Florida International University School of Music. I'm your host today and FIU faculty Dr. Russ Spiegel, and along with our producer Dr. Karen Velaz, we'd like to welcome you to our show. Whether you're listening to us at home, in your car, or live on WDNA.org/FIU, we are delighted to have you with us. Today, we are pleased to feature flamenco guitarist extraordinaire Felipe Carvajal. Felipe Carvajal began studying guitar at the age of 11 in San Jose, Costa Rica. Later, he moved to Seville in Spain to continue his music studies at the Conservatory of Music, specializing in flamenco guitar. In 2014, he moved here to Miami to study music composition at Florida International University. There, he studied with professors Orlando Garcia and guitar with Professor Mesut Özgen and graduated with honors. Felipe has performed at numerous international guitar festivals and has shared the stage with musicians from around the world, playing everything from Latin music, jazz, and classical to rock and, of course, flamenco. His catalog of works includes music for theater, small ensembles, arrangements of different genres, and music for media. Felipe's first flamenco guitar production, called Soneto de Arena, was released in May 2017. And the first piece that Felipe is going to play for us is called La Cartuja by Gerardo Núñez. Felipe, that is incredible.
Thank you, thank you.
If you want to grab the microphone.
Yeah, sorry.
No, not at all. And you composed that last piece, correct?
Yes, that last piece, it's actually in my album, Soneto de Arena. Yeah.
Wonderful. So for our listeners and viewers, maybe you can tell us a little bit, first of all, about your background and how you got started playing guitar.
Okay, well, I started playing guitar when I was around 11 years old. Basically, my primary teacher from my primary school. He used to have a guitar in classes, so I start very curious about that. I remember asking him to lend me the guitar, which he rarely did because it's the guitar. So at the end, then my parents, for that Christmas, when I was 11, they gave me a guitar as a gift, and something that started as a hobby, as just curiosity, ends up being a career, basically.
Wow. So when you picked up the guitar, you just fell in love with the instrument?
Yeah, the funny thing is that before that, I was going to be a computer science person. I used to repair computers since I was like super young. And then my parents did that switch. I don't know if they still regret it.
I'm sure they don't. I'm sure they don't.
But yeah, that's how it started.
And then what took you to studying the flamenco style of guitar?
That's a very, very funny story. The thing is that when the 9/11 thing happened on the towers, Alejandro Sanz, which is a very famous Spanish pop singer, was gonna do the MTV Unplugged, actually here in Miami. But because of that, they have to move that concert, I think a couple of months later or something like that. So as a tribute, when he started that concert, he actually sings a flamenco song. But in the video, and actually that caught a lot of my attention, and I used to play a lot of his songs. But in the actual concert, it just says that he was singing a bulería. A bulería is one of the many flamenco styles. So when I went to my computer and started looking for the score or the tab of that bulería, it didn't exist. It was something unedited. So I started getting a lot of recordings or audios of other flamenco, more traditional flamenco stuff, and it blew my mind. I mean, when I first heard Paco de Lucia or any of these guys, I just couldn't imagine how they were able to play that. Because, I mean, in Costa Rica, there were not many guitarists, or flamenco guitarists at least, not as a culture, something that you know from your parents or your culture in general. So that really blew my mind, and that's how it started. I think 1 year after that, there was a very big guitar festival in Costa Rica. And curiously, there was a flamenco guitarist for that edition. And just when they announced the concert in the newspaper, there was a sign of an advertisement of a music school saying that they are also teaching flamenco. And that's where I started around 12 years, when I was like around 12, 13 years old, basically.
So when you were playing guitar before that, what were you playing?
Oh, everything. I mean, from Oasis, Incubus, rock, Pink Floyd, Linkin Park.
Okay.
Those are regular stuff, yeah.
Right. And then you got serious about it. You went to Seville in Spain,
Yeah.
and you studied there. And perhaps one thing you could, or a couple things you could talk to our listeners about, was we were talking about this before, is the difference from flamenco guitar, how they're constructed, how they're played, as compared to, like, we tend to think like classical and flamenco are the same, but they're not.
No, they're completely different. I mean, I think the classical guitar started as an instrument, well, mostly coming from the lute music and the Renaissance music and all those things, and they start adapting it to a guitar, like piano music to guitar and all those things. Flamenco guitar actually started as an accompaniment instrument for the flamenco singers. So the idea was to just play a couple of chords and accompany a singer. Then you start, in history, the flamenco guitarists start making some solos or licks to serve as an introduction or an interlude or something like that for the singers. And then it starts to evolve until you get a genre, basically a flamenco guitar genre. But it's completely different. The attack of the strings is completely different. The kind of sound is different, the techniques. Even the posture of the hands is different, so you can have a more aggressive attack to the strings.
Right, and speaking of that, you have certain rhythmic things you do on the instrument itself.
Yeah.
You have the flailing of the fingers.
Yeah, the rasgueado.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you also have something that's not really present in classical music, which is improvisation.
Yeah. It's something that I think started just with that concept. I mean, if you were in a party and someone starts singing, and then you need to switch to another key or another rhythm or something like that to be able to someone else sing. And those kind of things, I think, led to a kind of improvisation thing in music. Then a lot of big artists start touring or making collaborations with jazz musicians. I think one of the most notable collaborations it's between Al Di Meola, John McLaughlin, and Paco Lucia. They made a huge tour just improvising. Funny enough, Paco Lucia didn't know anything about improvisation, at least in academic way as jazz musicians do. So yeah, there is a lot of improvisation, but it's a different kind of improvisation like in jazz. In jazz, you have a structure that you improvise over it. Here we have a lot of pieces that we put together, depending of the piece. There are some pieces there is a composition from start to the end, but there are a lot of other stuff that you can put together, and then it's up to you how you glue those pieces together. I think that's one of the most notable differences.
And something that's interesting is you actually got your degree in composition at FIU. You studied with Grammy Award-winning composer Orlando Garcia,
Yeah.
along with our guitar professor Mesut Özgen.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. It was, I think, when I applied for composition, to study composition, I had no idea what I was doing, or not what I was doing, what I was gonna find, because my background was that basically rock, pop, classical sense. But I mean, when I say classical music at that moment, it was Bach, Beethoven, or this romantic era. But when I was in Spain, the crisis, the economical crisis at that moment, led to me realizing that I would like to have a degree, a finished degree, because I studied computer sciences in Costa Rica, but I never finished. So then I started applying, looking for options, and funny enough, I was not able to study composition in Costa Rica, because you need to have another degree in order to be able to study composition. So that was my first option in Costa Rica. So since I was not able to get it, I started computer sciences just as a hobby. Then I moved to Spain, and then I applied there to study composition, and I got here to FIU, and I think it was one of the best things that have happened to me. Not because I'm here at an FIU program. It's because I learned so many things that there were absolutely no other way that I will be able to find if I were not getting that degree. So it was very good. I met a lot of people, a lot of great artists, and also I learned from a lot of music that I didn't even realize that it exists, actually. It was very, very good.
Wonderful. And how could people listening to this show hear more of you and your music?
Well, they can find me on Spotify, Apple Music, or any streaming platform as my name. My album is over there. I also have a YouTube channel, mostly for guitarists, but I'm also putting some of my other compositions over there. And in my website, felipe-carvajal.com, it's basically all the links of all the things that I have done.
Wonderful. And you're going to play one more short piece for us before we take our break. It is a piece by Paco de Lucia,
Yeah.
right, called Barrio La Viña.
Yeah, I just want to mention that this goes back to 1980s, so it's a very different style from what you guys have heard so far.
Okay, wonderful. Felipe Carvajal. You're listening to the FIU Music Hour on WDNA 88.9 FM with Felipe Carvajal. We'll be right back after these messages. This week, the FIU School of Music will be hosting the following concert. On Wednesday, January 26th, New Music Miami ISCM Festival 2022. They will be featuring composer Dr. Chineri Ung, the Amernay String Quartet, and FIU Notice Ensemble at the Wolfsonian at FIU's Miami Beach campus. There will be a 7 p.m. pre-concert talk featuring Dr. Chineri Jung, and from 7:30 p.m. on is the live performance. FIU's ensemble in residence, the acclaimed Amernay String Quartet, and the FIU Notice Ensemble perform the works of Grawemeyer award-winning composer Dr. Chineri Jung, Frederick Kaufman, Jacob Sudol, and Orlando Jacinto Garcia. Dr. Ung will be joining via Zoom for a pre-concert talk. Admission for this event is free. For this and many more exciting events, you can find information at fiu.universitytickets.com or MusicTix, and that's T-I-X, at fiu.edu. And now back to our show with Felipe Carvajal. He will be playing 3 or perhaps 4 pieces, 2 of them composed by him, Luna y Sombra, Fandango, and La Leyenda from Jose Antonio Rodriguez. this out now, just because our time, it's so amazing you're playing. But I want to tell our listeners, you've been listening to flamenco guitarist Felipe Carvajal, live. That's not a recording, live on the FIU Music Hour on WDNA 88.9 FM. I've been your faculty host, Russ Spiegel, and along with our producer, Karen Velaz, I'd like to thank our production crew, FIU graduate students Najee McLean and Samantha Stern, WDNA's sound and tech wizard, Alex Aldrich, and the rest of the staff of WDNA 88.9 FM for today's broadcast. If you'd like more information on all our programs, make sure to call 305-348-2896, or you can like our Facebook page, FIU School of Music, and our Instagram page, FIU Music, to stay up to date with all our upcoming performances. Thank you so much for joining us, and make sure to join the FIU Music Hour for more great music every Tuesday, 11 a.m. to noon. Next week, we will be featuring FIU Classical Voice alumni under the direction of FIU Coordinator of Classical Voice, Professor Vindhya Kare. So, before we close out, we have some more music from you, Felipe. What are you going to be performing for us?
I think I will be playing a bulería for all of you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Actually have time for one more piece if you would like. We have about 3 minutes if you would like to play something for us.
There are a lot of ways to build a strong body. And for the residents of Miami-Dade, getting your COVID-19 vaccination is an important part. Help everyone stay safe as we continue to fight the spread. And we can protect those most vulnerable around us. With easy access to vaccination locations and the growing ability for more people to be protected, it's our best shot to keep moving forward. It's our best shot for a strong, healthy community. For more information, visit miamidade.gov/vaccine.